Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to Girls Just Want to Have Lanfang and Victoria 3. Let's dive in here. All right. It's been some time, I feel like, since we've gotten back to the run here. Oh, first things always first. Paco, hello. Welcome, welcome. Always good to see you. Thanks for joining in bright and early. As always, let me say hi to myself, make sure sound's working. Hello, mate. As always, let me say hi to myself, make sure sound's working. Hello, mate. Right back at you, buddy. All right. So let's do this. Okay, so I've actually been thinking about this run throughout the week because it's kind of been bugging me. And I realized I don't know what I was on in the last episode. I paused the construction queue. I broke like my one rule. I'm leaving in 30 minutes tomorrow. I get up at 5. Oof, 5. That is a tough wake up. Well, I appreciate you coming in and sitting and hanging with us for a little bit. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope all is well. Hope you have to get up at 5 because you won the lottery and they are giving you millions of dollars and you got to be up very early to get it. I hope that's the case. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. You don't pause the construction queue, and I say that all the time, and yet somehow I did that. I get why I did it because we are going into debt. We have a high interest rate, but I think I was being a little too precious with my iron mines. I did not want to sell them because I fully intend on getting the iron company, and we're very close to it, but it's not worth going into debt. So we're going to unpause this construction queue to start. So we're going to unpause that. Let's see, Loteri equals 4-hour class of philosophy and social sciences methodology. Yeah, wow. Okay. Well, good luck with that, my friend. Good luck. I appreciate you even more for joining in here with us. All right. Let me take some insulin here so I don't die. All right, so we're going to unpause the construction queue. We're going to sell some iron mines. Now, I don't necessarily want to sell all of them. So we're going to privatize. We have 4. I'm going to try to get like 2 of them sold and then turn it off before they buy more of them. But just to get us out of debt. I also think I wanted to double check Katai here. I was waiting to get more ships so that we don't get the naval invasion penalty. But I realize, like Katai, their army is probably not that strong, right? What do they got here? Yeah, 3 irregulars, 1 hussar. And we don't have skirmish, but we have line infantry. And 2 cuirassiers. That's what I'm going with for that one. Apologies for mispronouncements. We can probably suffer the penalty. So the thing I want to check is anybody going to pull some shenanigans with us if we try to just take them now? Ha. See, that's what I thought. No. So we are going for Katai. That'll be the last state to take that's not the Dutch East Indies on the island. I am also really underplaying the fact that we are protected by Great Qing. And we're on good relations. So I have to keep that in mind. Which is even more of a reason why I would love it if this lobby went away. I don't like you guys right now. Alright, so we're going after appointed bureaucrats. Let's double check what our laws were again, though. Okay, so we got interventionism, homesteading, slavery's banned. No migration controls. Okay. I couldn't remember what all of our laws were, so we're actually doing well there. We have to get down to multiculturalism. But to be honest, we also really got to get down to railways first. So we're going to go to railways. And then... then we really got to get to human rights. Do we want to go all of this or just waste a lot of innovation? This will take 18 years. What we'll do is we'll go for egalitarianism next, and then we'll see just how much it really says. So this is what we're doing next. Let me remind myself. So what are our buildings? How are they doing? So we got some bananas, some fishing. We got some gold mines. But they're not hired. Let's subsidize that because the minting will probably pay for it. I know we are suffering employment problems, bane of my existence. And what do we have here? Arms, fertilizer. We have military shipyards, paper. Alright. Yeah, because our private sector can't build. Because we have infrastructure there. We have none there. We have infrastructure in Lanfang. So we're building that in North Borneo. That'll get us some infrastructure there. They're building that in North Borneo. So why? No, well, yeah, because we have none of that. I would love to do a greener grass campaign in North Borneo as well. What do we have in terms of this stuff? Because if we take anything out, we're going to lose it, because we're already -10 here. Yeah, we're encouraging the manufacturing industry. I'd love to use this for something else, but if we get rid of it, we're just not going to be able to add anything anyway. Look at that, the president. If the president was a little more liked. Everyone kind of hates this guy. Alright, so we'll work on that. Yeah, we can't really add any taxes in, unfortunately. Alright. So I think we're ready to unpause it. To unpause it now for tonight. And so this is our plan. My plan for tonight is to get the island. To get the island before the end of the stream tonight. Now we need to increase our construction, that's for sure. But I really do think, with the help of Great Qing, we can take the rest of the island. So, oh yeah, there's one other thing I wanted to check. So, our fleet. Yeah, I'd love it if we could get up to monitors. How far away are we from that? Oh, yeah, we're pretty far away. Um, yeah, it won't help us with that. Okay. Yeah, so we're not really going to be able to raid well. So these guys are going to sit in here and protect us, protect our connection to China. Oh, why though? Why that one? Why are... Oh, man. Wait, for some reason... Why are we using all of these? Yeah. Okay. For some reason, I was thinking we only needed to protect these two C nodes to keep our connection to Great Qing. But this is not the case. I didn't realize we had these routes going. Okay. All right. So I'm waiting here because once we hit the unpause, I want to keep an eye on the iron mines here. So let's unpause it. Okay. So we still have 2. And so that got us out of debt. So we're going to do that. Now we're still hemorrhaging quite a bit of money. But as long as we keep building, we'll be okay. So we're building a port in North Borneo. And we'll scale that up as much as is needed. What we could really use is like an investment agreement with someone, but I mean, our rank is just way too low right now. So what could we use next? We don't have any food industries, right? We do not. And we have infrastructure here, though we don't have people. Alright, well, we'll get there when we get there. So, let's go for it. Alright, they refused. See, actually, yeah, we could use some groceries. It'll help the military. We have some infrastructure here, so we'll build it in Lanfang. Oh yeah, are we still... Yeah, no opium in Qing. Alright, and we'll add in the forced march. Now we can add 1 conscript. So let's add them. Actually, I probably shouldn't have done that. It's just going to add to the... whatever, the inefficiency of the landing. But we can deal with that. Alright, we're underway. Yay, yay, let's go. Spain is improving relations. Wonderful, wonderful. Alright, so... We will continue with this. We do really need to start getting people. Yeah, we have the 4th highest standard of living. Very high attraction. Problem is, yeah, we're not eligible because we need 20 arable land. I'll be honest though, actually I forget. Is it arable land or unused arable land? To be eligible for mass migration, a state needs to be incorporated, have at least 20 arable land and 70% market access. The amount... Oh, hold on. As the... Oh, what's that? Oh, they're improving relations. We actually... Okay, we need to fix that for a second. As the debates around the appointed bureaucrats' law stall, Liu Rengan has motioned to pass the proposal to a commission of experts to break the deadlock. Yeah, we don't want to take government expenses right now. Okay, so we get 10% or nothing happens. Let's try it. Hey, we got the 10%. Alright, so let's take a look again here. Yeah, arable land is the amount of land in a state that can be used for cultivating crops or raising cattle, unlike buildings that require certain resource potentials to be constructed. Arable land must be shared between the buildings types that require it. The amount of arable land that stands unused by any other buildings may be used for substance buildings, letting pops eke out. Yeah. It doesn't say unused, though. Just total. It's probably unused, though. But here's the thing. We'll get more arable land if we conquer all of these states. And then North Borneo... Yeah, it must be unused. Has 11. So we really need to start conquering land here if we're going to start getting any type of migration. So this is part of East Borneo. North Borneo. Oh, the only thing left is this. How much arable land do we have here? 8. 0. 0. Ooh, okay. Here we have 8. 4, that's 12. 24, okay. So, only one of our states can get any type of migration. That doesn't seem right. I think the latest update changed migration. When I left Argentina, it was 1898, and large numbers of immigrants had never arrived in any country in the Americas before dozens of mass migrations arrived. Yeah, that's why I find this odd. I have had migrations, like, to smaller states. Like in our Paraguay run here, we had a ton. Oh yeah, okay, bad example. Baja, Paraguay has a lot of land. Okay. Well, interesting. Well, we got property to women. It'd be nice if we kept the trade unions very happy and get eke out a little bit more. Oh, and look at this. I wasn't even paying attention to it. Nobody's getting involved. Excellent, excellent. Look at that. All right. So I don't think the naval invasion penalty will be that stressful for us. I think there is some scripted thing that limits Asia as a migration target, maybe it's not being recognized. That could be it. That could be. Oh, now we can get a company. Of course, now I gave away some of my iron mines. Hey, look at this. Okay. San Miguel. Oh. A food industry is one. That might not be bad to have while we're in the Qing market. Oh, okay, well, we'll look at companies in a moment. We gotta do a naval invasion. Alright, so while you guys are doing that, let's see, what would be the most beneficial to us? Maximum infrastructure from population. Honestly, this might be what we need right now. It might not be what we need to keep. Migration attraction, but we don't have oil. Alright, excellent, excellent. Birth rate, too. But this one, let me look at all the other ones again. Influence, livestock, power plants, yeah. So San Miguel. It says San Miguel Brewery, Manila. Huh. Okay, so any Lanfang state, strategic region is Indonesia. That's us, right? Indonesia. Oh, let's do this. A horrendous first draft of appointed bureaucrats has every faction clamoring to ram in their desired changes. Blue Rengon has whipped up immense public discontent in favor of a rewrite. Keep calling it Rengen. It's Rengon. Okay. See, I would like to get to that workforce ratio. And I don't necessarily care how much this fails. Yeah, I'll take this chance. Hey, we got it. Okay. Let's see. Very good. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit before we get this. It's going to finish in 9 years. So we could do this right now. So we need to own 5 levels. Yeah, that'd be tough. That'd be tough. Not to mention their productivity is not great. So it might not be the thing to do. And we can always build ports. Of course, we don't have people. We don't have people. We can't get this one. Honestly, this one, the birth rate, but 5 levels of food industry. Yeah, we can't really sustain that. Honestly, we don't have enough people to sustain 5 levels of anything. Alright, well, let's get Katai here. And then figure our lives out. Because another way to get more people is to conquer land. Alright, look at that. Oh, Lanfang. Looking good. Alright. Look at that, yeah. Yeah, we have major infrastructure problems here. Do we have people here? Nope, but we have 8,000 unemployed. Well, let's do this. This will get us more infrastructure. Ah, and we got an irregular infantry. So why don't you just go to the first? Okay, so now that we have that, alright, so now we got to think about getting the Dutch East Indies. Or at least getting the rest of the island. So what are we spending the most on? Military wages, government wages. Oh, we're subsidizing the iron mines. Do we need to be doing that anymore? No, we do not. Now, what about the gold? So we're getting 252 minting from it. And spending 184 to subsidize it. Hello there, George. Increase speed. Well, I'm trying to figure something out here before we go, because we're trying to get set up before we start moving further along here. We gotta get our budget a little bit under control here so that we can get... We're gonna need a few more soldiers before we take on the Dutch East Indies. Our plan is to make a move for these remaining states and get Qing on our side. But we are going to need more than 7 soldiers here. Now we do have this. We have some peasants. I think what I might do, actually, is build... Yeah, let's make another... military. Yeah, no, we have more factories. The problem is people. We don't have the people to staff them. People is our problem right now. And we don't have enough arable land for migrations. So really our only way forward is to take land. If we can take this and we can take this, then West or East Borneo will be able to start getting migrations. But until we do that, we're not going to get it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create another military unit. So this will be more of our main army. Alright, let's get a decent general for this. Oh, excellent. Yes, direct supply. Oh, you are our guy. So wait, plus 5% supply consumption, but minus 10%. So you're our dude. Yes, and although getting this guy would be trade? No. He'll be our defensive guy. So what we're going to do is... Oh, man. Oh, no, skirmish. No, we don't want skirmish. We want line. So over here, we have a bunch of job seekers, so we can do 5 and then some infantry. And we'll try to hire that up. We'll have to raise wages. And in the meantime, how much do we have left here? 20K. We're going to sell the remaining iron mines because they're pretty much our only profitable thing. There we go. All right. So now we will speed it up. We'll finish this port in North Borneo. Yeah, and this will get us some infrastructure. So we have some infrastructure here from the ports. They're hiring up. All right. Now, what is the deal here? Why is this guy still here? Irregular. Why don't you go there? All right, excellent. And so now you guys are going to become our first cavalry. Since you're the one with the horses. All right. All right, so these guys now have their factory. The Voice of Pontianak, a popular newspaper read by the armed forces class across Lanfang, has published an article by Liu Rengan advocating for the inaction of appointed bureaucrats. Excellent. We can get the military approval up a little bit. Yeah, we'll take that. Okay. We might split if this actually hires. Though we don't, yeah, we don't need a full-on 7. We just take, yeah, about 5, because we don't want to tie up people there. But if we can get this done, it'll give us a chance to add in some better supplies. You know, it might also be worth right now lowering relations with the Dutch. All right. Yeah, we continue to hemorrhage money. Construction goods are expensive. Yeah, iron is expensive because the Qing market sucks on iron. Although, it does seem like... Ah, yeah, there we go. Did we lose employment in here? Yes, we did. God, I could really use more people in North Borneo. We really need to take these 2 states. We really, really do. Problem is, we also need it to incorporate. And that's going to take 20 years. Now we're not out of... Oh, well, wait, though. Yeah, this doesn't take infrastructure. See, I would love it if we could get, like, investment rights somewhere and let our private sector build somewhere else. Blue Rengon's attendance at a bourgeois fundraising banquet in Pontianak has led to an uptick in funds promoting appointed bureaucrats. He gets a trait grifter. Yeah, Netherlands, you can prove it all you want, but... yeah, this is fine with me. Alright. Actually, this, too, is kind of killing us. We might want to throw them in government. Let's take a look here. Okay, so the trade unions are helping us with it. So maybe once we're done with this, we'll switch the government up a little bit. Alright. So we're moving along. Ah, I was playing Ixion. Did you ever have a bug where the transport carts, the ones in the warehouses, don't transport anything? Yeah. Yep. I ran into that. What was the solution for that? See, that's one of those things when I remember it. I can't remember if it was a bug or if I was doing something wrong. But there's something about, and I think it was, oh, a reload worked for you. Yeah, because what I remember, it was something about when you're transferring, yeah, between sectors. There was something that would get messed up with that. So I think, yeah, that one was a bug. But man, yeah, did that piss me off to no end because it came at like the absolute worst time. But awesome. How are you liking it so far? Just as the appointed bureaucrats' law looked ready to topple, the rural folk found itself rallying with the assistance of Liu Rengan. It now has the support it needs to pass without compromise. Ah, well, 1% loyalists sounds very enticing. Ooh, although... No, getting +1 on the trade unions also does. Because this is very much needed. Because I have warehouses full of food and people dying of hunger, yeah. Yeah, I wish I could be more helpful on that one. I remember running into that exact problem. But it was in the very first run-through I did back when I first got it. So it's been a couple years now. But I remember there was something about when you're transferring resources between sectors. And like one warehouse goes offline and then it stops the whole transfer. And then when you get it back online, it doesn't come back up. It was something like that. But I don't, unfortunately, have an answer to it because I don't remember what I ended up doing. Party-affiliated newspapers have been proliferating during this election season. Publications associated with the Liberal Party have been particularly effective in spreading the party line. Um, do we need throughput on paper? Well, it would be beneficial. We could also get the Liberal Party. We'll take the throughput. It's okay. It's different. It didn't blow my mind. I think all the district differentiation is unnecessary, and the ship's hull fills and empties very quickly. Yeah, I lost about 3 times without realizing it, which is a bit annoying. Oh boy, yeah. I remember my first run through. Yep. You feel that this is the one way where I say it kind of feels like Frostpunk, is that you think you're okay, and then suddenly you're not. So yeah, it can be frustrating. That's why I always like I have a very like strict way that I save things. I save whenever I get to a new chapter, I start saving for that chapter, and then I'll start saving incrementally with new saves throughout the chapter, because that is the type of game where the save scumming is just like save scumming is the meta. You know, it's interesting. I should have. I remember I went for North Borneo first because of the iron. Ooh, this is going to downsize. Yeah, we need to keep this subsidized. I went for North Borneo because of the iron. But thinking about migrations, maybe going here first might have been better. Though this is still the Dutch East Indies. I don't know if I could go for that first. I'm a safe scumming bitch too. You're in good company, my friend. You're in good company. I want to get a t-shirt someday that says, I am Lord Save Scum. Alright, the Free Trade Party. Now, I would like E. Yeah. Damn. We're gonna need to get the landowners and government at some point if we want Qing to be happy with us. But being on a righteous government for a little bit is not such a bad idea to like lower radicals here. So yeah, look at that. Ouch. So we will do this. Okay. All right. All right. So as much as I would like to keep doing this, I think we need to do these military things first, because then we can finally just go after Dutch East Indies. Drones are game changing. Oh my god, yeah. To be able to move stuff around like that, oof. Though if you're at drones, it means you're pretty far along. What chapter are you in? Ooh, is this something we can benefit from? Nah, nobody cares about us. Oh. Alright, let's pause for a second. Damn. We need to sell something, and I don't know what we got. Yeah, we have an unprofitable artillery foundry. It will be profitable. Nobody's gonna buy that though, right? Yeah. It will be profitable once I get those barracks built. The Etamananki or whatever is destroyed. Okay, yeah. I think that's chapter 3, I think. Something like that. Alright, so the tobacco plantations. Somebody want to take that? Private sector? The bananas? Anybody want to buy my bananas? Oops. So Feng Ni has challenged Li Yenshan to a duel to the death. One of our generals. Yeah, no, we definitely don't want to lose this guy. I don't want to make the armed forces pissed off, so let's just ruin their likability. Alright. I wish I could put some minus 60%. Oh god. High turmoil. See, I would have to get rid of 2 things. And we need to sell something. Wait. Somebody did buy the tobacco plantation. Now, why is our logging so cheap here? Could we sell this? Yep. Alright. Alright, so that bought us some time. We're buying ourselves some time. Unfortunately, we're not fixing the situation. The civil service, currently led by the landowners, are deliberately stalling the government by creating unnecessary paperwork. They demand that their jobs be protected under the appointed bureaucrats' law. Yeah, we'll take the setback. Actually, you know, this law itself might help us. Oh, and you know, we haven't looked at our tax law in a little bit. Ah, yes, look at that. Definitely not that, but... yeah, we're not going to have egalitarianism for a little bit. So, when this finishes, we need to look at our tax laws. Alright. So the problem is, I worry that this is just going to take way too long. What if we get rid of some of it? Yeah, see, this is going to take 5 years. Is that something we're ready to do? If we had more authority, we could at least add some road maintenance there. Alright. I'm going to do something I'm not too fond of, but... we gotta do something here. Oh, man. Okay. Alright, so that lowered this a little bit. Ah, look at that. There we go. Alright, let's start tackling our taxation laws. So, per capita taxation. Don't mind if I do. So we'll tackle that. So once we get these built, I mean, we're going to have the staffing issue as well. Okay, let's make sure these relations stay high. Hello, bot. Bot. We were waiting for you, my bot friend. Goodbye, bot. It was nice to have you for a moment. Alright, so we're waiting for these barracks to build up. Once they do, we're going to make that final move against the Dutch East Indies. What in the what just happened? Oh, for poopin' sakes here. I did not realize. They became a puppet of Great Britain. Great Britain, what are you doing to me? Okay, let's see here. So this is 12, this is 4. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get to 20. If we had this one. Oh, Great Britain just screwed me over. Alright. Is Qing in... Oh, they got a trade agreement and a defensive pact. That really messed things up right there. I did not even see that thing pop up on here. When did that happen? Alright. We're gonna have to get wild here. We need to start doing stuff like this. What's their thing? They actually have quite a bit. What? Spain is offering military assistance? Hell yeah, we'll take that. Let's see. What was that, like, cheese that used to happen where... Yeah, if I declare... Where are we here? if I declare war on these guys, and we're currently allied with Britain, doesn't that mean... Oh, yeah, they don't let you know. Damn. We need to sell more buildings. But we're running out of them. Alright. Oh, well, okay, so we got a little bit here. Are trains important in Ixion? I'm talking... Oh, they're one of those things that are helpful because you can transfer people quicker. So that's one of those things I would say they're not useless, but they're not a priority. Because moving people around is helpful. It's helpful once you really start getting a lot of sectors opened up. Like if you have all 6 sectors open and you got to transfer somebody like all the way around the station, it'll take a little bit of time. So then a train will help. But otherwise, it's not that pivotal. I wonder if we can take Zulu. So Gaza has 7 battalions, 10 conscripts. So Gaza would be easier. Not to mention, they're all irregular. Are they allied with anybody? They have an alliance with Isaac. Oh, they're a protectorate of the British. Damn, Britain. You are messing my run up. Well, we couldn't really go for Zulu. Hey, Robert. Welcome in, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you back. How you doing? What about Uruguay? Nah, they got no people. Ooh, Chile's been doing some work. Chile. They have no people. None there. God, why are there no people in the world? Chilling. Finally settled in for the day, debating if I play EU4. Ooh. Go for it. Get some EU4 in to itch that need for EU5, which is looking really cool. Okay, yeah, what about in my area here? Not a lot of people. Not a lot of people. I need some conquest targets. Like, that is what I need. So, I am trying to figure that out. Yeah, like, we're not going to go after... God, there's just, like, no people anywhere in the world to take. Congo's got themselves a little bit. I mean, the problem is it's not the same. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a very experienced EU4 player, and even I, looking at EU5, I'm like, oh man, that's going to be a lot of fun. So right now, I am looking for places that I can just kind of invade for people, because I need people. I need people so bad. Maybe Oman. Do it. Do it. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is we could probably get Great Qing to help us. We can't do anything there. Progressive voting. Okay, that's helpful. Yeah, Dainam has a lot of people. Although Qing is, like, kind of busy. I wish I could play it with no prior knowledge again. Play EU4 with no prior knowledge? Isn't that like any Paradox game? You need a lot of prior knowledge, right? Oyo. What's going on with Oyo? God, all you guys. Maybe this isn't the thing I should be looking for right now. Oh, discover it again. Yeah. I hear you. I see. Okay, I am late to the EU4 game. I've had the game for a while, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I know I'm gonna have to spend a long time to learn it. And I want to know. I want to know how to play it well. I just don't know yet how. Oh, hyped for the next Vicky 3 patch. Oh, hell yeah. I cannot wait for that patch to come out. 2 weeks. 2 more weeks. It is going to be so much fun. Alright, what about Vanuatu? And it's going to fundamentally change this game so much in all the right ways. Oh, you saw my dev diary vid. Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing one for all of them. It's fun to do. I think I'm just going to do that going forward for all the dev diaries. Like the whole trade system rework is going to be great. Alright, what happens if I go after these guys? I can't. Why? Oh, they're... What am I doing? I'm looking at decentralized nations here. Ugh. I'm so stupid. Yeah. 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 The current one is also just like... It's fine. I'm not going to say it sucks or anything like that, because the game has been fun for a long time, and that's the trade system. But it can be better. And this is how it can be better. And it's about to get better, and it'll be very helpful too, to be able to have like a trade center. You're bringing basically trade centers are like a building that can produce anything, and come in as like a local good, and that possibility is like, it makes so much sense, and it's so exciting. Coming from an EU4 guy saying something. Yeah, right. That's true. EU4 is like very confusing. At least to me, it seems like it. Prestige good flavor also is huge for me. The whole prestige good thing, that is also going to change things so much. They've been talking about prestige goods a little bit in previous dev diaries, but never really defined. And so this last dev diary where they talked about how, like, a prestige good as an input will affect the throughput of the building. That is such a game changer. I don't think it is, but I might be biased on how hard it is to learn. I know. See, that's the problem with EU4 for me. I know how much time it took me to learn this game, and I know EU4 is the same level of complicated, or maybe more. And so knowing how much time and dedication it took me to learn Victoria 3, I'm like, I don't know if I have the time in my life to learn another game like that. But I want to know EU4 like I know Victoria 3. I just want a reason to play a nation. Yeah. Also, I'll be honest, the idea of like playing the United States, but like at the beginning of the United States with the revolution, I would like to do that. Okay, so I'm kind of in between decisions here. And so I'm kind of dragging my feet. I'm kind of dragging the episode too, I recognize. I need to just make some decisions. EU4 is the base of Paradox. Yeah, I agree with that. If you played EU4, you can jump to almost any other Paradox game. And if you liked any Paradox game, you can jump to EU4. It does seem like EU4 is like, or just the Europa Universalis series is like their flagship game. Yeah, and I feel like I could like get by in EU4, but I want to know like what I want to understand it better. Maybe I'm being a little too precious with it. I meant the prestige good gives an amazing to play a nation in this game. Yeah, it does, right? Because like I'll give you an example. Like I've always wanted to try like a run as like Hijaz here, right? But if you look at their resources, they have sulfur, they have fish. Their only arable land is beef, and beef sucks in this game. Nobody wants it, which is a weird thing. But now, you have, a reason to create, like, livestock ranches and beef if you can possibly do that. I don't know if this is actually, like, makes something like Hijaz more playable, but it seems like it might be able to take something like that. USA is endgame EU4 unless you form it early. Well, I noticed, so I bought the, I paid for the expansion pass for a couple months to try to learn it. So I have every what do you call it, DLC, and there is like a starting point where you play as the United States right when the revolution starts, but I don't know enough about the economy and the war system to really effectively do that. The only problem I would point out about EU4 is that the interface has tiny buttons that change the game completely. I agree with that. It's hard to go back to like a UI that is so old when playing in like more modern games. I like having a goal as Argentina to be the biggest producer of River Plate beef. Is River Plate beef a thing in EU4? Because everybody is making in the Victoria 3 circles are making such a big deal about River Plate beef. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what is this whole obsession with River Plate beef? 1444 is the best start. I'll have to give it in Victoria 3. Yeah. Yeah, everyone is like really, really hyped about River Plate beef, which I think is cool. I mean, the idea of beef being meaningful in the game is cool because it's been so, useless for so long. So when this war ends, I think we're going to go after the Dutch East Indies. Because right now, I feel like Qing is like going to be too involved in this. Like, how much are they sending here? Yeah, look at that. Like, they're sending so many soldiers over there. So we're going to wait for that war to be done. And we are running it. Oh, no. We're not running into that many staffing problems here, so that's good. Yeah, we have the ones to upgrade them to line infantry. Yeah, I have a feeling Victoria 3 actually is going to get a lot of new players with the new update. I think it's just going to change the base game so much that I think a lot of people will come back to it, and I think a lot of new people will come to it. Ah, here we go. Okay, so let's get our Monday update. All right, so we got helped out a little bit there. Good enough. All the exams are coming up at the same time, but okay. The other day I heard that you have a period between classes and exams to prepare. Is that true? At colleges here, you usually have, like, you have a week dedicated to the exams, but your classes end, like, the week before it. I'm a college professor, and so I'm done for the semester. But, yeah, like, our final exams week starts, like, the week after classes end, so I guess you have, like, a weekend to prepare. I think we had, like, a week or so. They would schedule exams, like, days after classes were over, yeah. And you always had plenty of time to study for each. I hope all your exams go well, and you can enjoy your break. Yeah, that's what I'm on right now. I'm on the enjoy the break moment. Well, most didn't have real exams most of the time for my major. Mostly a semester project. Yeah, as you get later in the semester, or you get to more upper level classes, I feel like it's more like that. I mainly teach intro classes, so all of mine are just like midterms and finals. And a lot of extra credit to grade, because people need it. Let's keep an eye on the Dutch East Indies if they are going to war. Do they give you a TA? Nope, they do not. I wish they did. I do not get a TA, unfortunately. Alright, an eruption of unprecedented records has utterly destroyed the lives of many in the state of North Borneo. The explosion could be heard from hundreds of miles away, and anything that had the ill fate of surrounding the mountain was immediately devastated. We're just going to have to take the devastation. We can't afford it. Well, not here. Exams are during class time. For example, for contemporary history, I had class today. Next week, I have a midterm. And then I have class again for the final. Wait, you have the midterm, and then the next class you have the final? That's interesting. For me, I do all my midterms and finals online. So my students, I don't even make them come in for it. Oh, okay, so Great Britain. Whoa. Great Britain is making some moves. Oh, there are two midterms here. They're called partials. That's interesting. Shipyards. Why are we building a second level of shipyard when you can't even hire the first level? It's also... Oh, okay. Well, we are hiring this. Okay. I'm praying for you, brother. Remember, Paradox Games is studying. I guess if you're studying history, this is studying. I do appreciate Ep4 Railroad's historic things. I feel like I've learned a lot about industrial revolutionary history from this game. I feel like this game would be like one of those, like a good educational tool. Like they used to have the Oregon Trail in school. If it wasn't for the fact that this game is just so damn complicated to learn and pick up. Whereas the Oregon Trail, you could just like pick that up and play it. Alright, this is a complication here. Okay, hold on. So what can we change here? Yeah, we can't do any of those. Victory Education is, yeah, addition. That would be an interesting mod, actually. Simplify a lot of the game mechanics so that someone could just pick it up and play it, but you still get all the history. Surprised Swedish government didn't commission something from Paradox. Yeah. I'm surprised there's not like an Easter egg company in Sweden that's like a game company. But obviously not a video game company. Maybe it's like a board game company or something, right? I thought that would be such a cool little Easter egg in the game. Two midterms. If you pass with a score above 7, you'll be promoted. Meaning you don't have to take the final exam. If not, you'll go to the final exam. Whoa. Sometimes there's an oral exam in addition to that, or paper defense, or book reviews, or all the above. It all depends on the faculty, the class, and, more importantly, the university. Wow. Yeah, my classes are intro classes, so they're all pretty simple and straightforward in that regard. Sweden is so OP in all their games. I know, right? Alright, so we have 10 soldiers now. So is there a potential takeover target around us here? I don't know why HBO doesn't buy the CK3 a Game of Thrones mod. Seriously, like I don't know why they're making Game of Thrones games. The Game of Thrones game is the Game of Thrones mod for CK3. Like, that's what everybody really wants to play. I need a place that has people. I could possibly take the Marina Kingdom. Nobody's protecting them. I got a ton of people. What if we did that? I do love the pop mechanic. EU music, so wait, you mean like Europa Universalis music is so loud? Alright, so I am considering this. Although I don't, I don't think we can even do this. We don't have an interest here. Yeah, but we can change that. Maybe we take our interest out of Indonesia, put it here. I think we're gonna do that. Alright, what are we at? Oh, we're a bit over an hour here. Alright, I'm gonna go take a bathroom break, get a drink. I will be right back. So 60 seconds, be right back. All right, and we're back. Let's see. Oh, what did I miss here? The University of Buenos Aires. Oh, cool. Best university in the country. Among the top 10 Spanish-speaking universities. Oh, very cool. Just flexing. Do it. Why not? And it's sort of the national standard. I know that other schools, like the medical faculty, have annual classes rather than quarterly ones. Oh. In my faculty, they don't exist due to an agreement between professors, graduates, and students. In the case of my university, it is important to make distinctions between faculties because it is very large. Well, 330,000 students. That is a major university, though. I mean, I would imagine the University of Buenos Aires would be like that. Because it sounds like it would be a massive university. Very cool, though. Gotta flex. You gotta flex. Alright. My university has half the population of your country. This is so true. And that's the problem with my country right now, is the amount of people. Okay. See, we could do this for birth rate. But building 5 levels of groceries, we're never going to reach the prosperity bonus because we can't staff something like that. Oh, please. Wait, what? Oh boy. Too soon. What in the what? Too soon, Victoria 3. Not ready to see that. That is a foul right there. We're just not gonna look at that. Alright, we need this war to end. I need Qing focus on us. Although you look at all these soldiers here, they might send some, but I'm worried they won't. When are we getting our Zanj interest activated? Is it now? No. Yeah, I thought it takes like a month. All right. Let me make sure I counted up all of our. So 8 there. I don't know how Lanfang has. Well, that's yeah. See, I think I'm miscalculating here because this is all unused arable land. Like if I got rid of stuff. Oh, did we get our interest now? Okay, so we can do it. Let me take a look at what their soldiers are like. So they're all irregular. 12 and 12, yeah. We could take them. Well, let's take a save, just because we haven't saved tonight. You know, that's the only reason why I'm doing it. So if we... Oh, am I live on YouTube? Yeah. I am live on YouTube right now. Right? Nothing happened to that stream or anything? Yep. Okay, so these guys would get in there. How many soldiers did they have? The Anti-British Association, yeah. Damn right we do. We don't like the British. Not in this game right now. Alright, so we will also make ourselves a little infamous. You know, that's interesting that Ching isn't even up there on that. Howdy, hello. You're over on YouTube now. So are you still on Twitch as well, or did you fully just switch over? Oh yeah, look at that. You're on both. I love it. Viewer stats. Yeah, I don't know about this, to be honest with you. It might work, it might not. We're not passing anything. We got total separation. We got this. What more do we need? Well, we'll get more assimilation with that. Yeah, this won't help us. Yeah, so we could do the schools thing. How much? So it would take 10 bureaucracy. Now, we can't totally afford it right now. Yeah, look at that, though. Radicalization is hurting us. Yeah. See, the problem is we won't get assimilation because all the people who are not... Yeah, like these guys are living in their homelands. Are there any stereotypes? Are there any stereotypes about the United States that bother you? I think one thing that annoys me, I would say, is like when somebody shows a depiction of like an American in another country, it's usually like a Texan. You know, it's somebody with like a southern twang and like has a like a cowboy hat and kind of like talks like a Texan. And it's like Texas is a very unique place in the United States. Nothing against Texans, but I don't think they represent the entire country. And I think that's like the rest of the world's image of like what every American is. I think one of the reasons why there's such turmoil in the United States right now is that there isn't one overarching ideology. And so when you're trying to depict an American in like another like somewhere, if you're trying to depict an American in a culture somewhere else in the world, like what are you depicting? What unites us right now? I think that's the problem. Who do you depict? Because there's nothing, I think, that depicts everybody. Big streets, fat people, and lots of parking equal to... Yeah, that's Texas. Yep. Where I'm from, not big streets and almost no parking. And a bunch of varying sized people. Anti-Italian Defamation League. Yeah, that from the area of the country that we're from, that would be it. That would be it. I mean, again, it's like I saw this. There's this comedian, Colin Quinn, that made this really funny joke one time, and he was like, "There's the same distance between Ireland and Hungary, right? That there is with New Jersey and Utah." And he's like, are we saying that the people of Ireland and Hungary have less in common than the people of New Jersey and Utah? He's like, no, it's just that over here they had the enough sense to say these are two different countries. Whereas here we're like, no, this is all the same country. And it's like, maybe we all have just two, some very different values. I mean, listen to me. I sound like I'm advocating for like secessionist movements, and I'm not. But I think the thing we have to recognize is like our country is massive, with a lot of people and a lot of differing views, and we're all trying to like hold it together. And so I think when you're looking at like the dysfunction of the United States and how unified everyone is, people always compare it to like individual countries within Europe. And I don't think that's a fair comparison. I think what you have to look at is the entire European Union. Like, how much unity is there in the entire European Union? Like, for God's sakes, Great Britain just left it a couple of years ago, right? So I think that's a more apt comparison. And same thing with, like, if you were going to depict an American, that would be like trying to depict a European. Like, where in Europe are you going to pick the person that you're going to depict that's going to accurately depict all of Europe? There isn't really. And so that is what you're trying to like do when you depict an American. There's just very different cultures based on where you are in the country. And so I think for us, we always get depicted as Texans. And I'm not going to lie, as an East Coast American, I do not want to be depicted as a Texan. No offense to any Texans who might be watching. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Although I guess in terms of doxing myself, I haven't said where exactly I'm from, but I guess you can tell I'm not from Texas. All right. All right. Nobody has gotten involved in this yet. Now, one thing I am worried about, though, is that I think we have enough military to, like, combat them, but in terms of the naval invasion, we can only send one army. Oh boy, we got Rwanda coming against us. And we do need to sell a building. We are running low now. So I think the one thing that is a saving grace for us is that it seems like the private sector can't build anything. America has so much clout. Boston made it into... Yeah. America has so much clout. Boston made it into Star Wars with Bill Burr's character. I know, right? He didn't even try to change the accent. He's just like, yeah, what's up? I'm on Tatooine and I support the Red Sox. Oh, alright. So here we go. Here's where we try to do this. I don't know about this. We might end up paying war reparations for this. He implies a space Boston. Space Patriots. Oh my god. I mean, I think that implies that there's a space Babe Ruth curse. Right? Like maybe that's why I forget his entire story, but didn't his like whole platoon or planet or something blow up, something like that? Maybe that was the Babe Ruth curse right there. All right. We're going to try this. Wait, America, where are you going? You're not trying to start stuff with us, are you? Something about him not wanting to be PC, I think. Well, I find Bill Burr really interesting. In that has been his thing for so long, this like anti-PC stuff. But lately, you see a lot of his interviews on TV and everything. He has an entirely different tone now, and I think it's like he's like, man, the turmoil in our country has really changed the way I approach things. It's been really interesting if you really look at what he's been saying and everything lately. In other American countries like Brazil and Argentina, this is very similar. Oh, you mean like how there are so many like different cultures and ideologies in it? He's funny, but like some of his takes. Yeah. No, I have to say Bill Burr is not somebody I would say I've been a fan of. But in like the last year, seeing some of the stuff he's been saying, it's been interesting, I will say. It's like a completely different tone and even ideology, I would say, than what all of his stuff previously has been. Oh. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, no, there it is. Oh, the big... Oh, okay. There was a couple messages, and the big message went further down. Let me scroll up here. The United States is very large, but it's a very united and similar people. Of course, there are differences, but I wouldn't dare compare Europe with the USA, and I think this is explained by history. The history of the USA, which is tied to modernity. I think a great example of this is accents. All accents in the United States are very similar, with a few exceptions, Texas. On the other hand, walk 5 minutes in England and you can't understand anything. Yeah. In other American countries like Brazil and Argentina, this is very similar. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting point, right? Accents. Although that's interesting. I feel like maybe because I'm from here, certain accents just sound so different here. Like a New York accent to me sounds so different from a Boston accent, which sounds so different from like a Chicago accent as opposed to like a Texan accent as opposed to just a Southern accent. For me, it's like very different. But yeah, maybe that's just because I'm from here, but maybe they're not all that different. Release patients from the Pontiac Asylum have steadily denounced the practices involved in their supposedly medical treatments, mistreatment of the sick, withholding of personal letters, and disproportionate punishments were among the charges. We don't really want to lose any more bureaucracy. Our standard of living has been going down here. But raising it won't really do much for us. We're very high above the minimum expected. I don't want to take on more government expenses, though. But we will try to get the trade unions on our side. The recently translated works of Thibaut Bandula have become popular within the liberal movement. Yeah, we do like the liberal movement. That's nice to hear. I know he's on heck of a bunch of podcasts. He's really been like making the rounds recently, which is interesting. A man employed by a powerful member of the Anti-British Association is delivering lectures and pamphlets addressed to targeted constituencies in Pontiac. Do we need... no, we don't really need... Alright. Ooh, look at this. We are making progress. But yeah, that is true, though, the point about, like, British accents. In England, like, your accent means so much. Whereas here, I mean, not so much. There is the, like, stigma of, like, the southern accent here, which I think is very unfair. But it's not like it is in Great Britain. Innovations like the train and the telegraph allowed the United States to expand across a very large landmass in a very short time, without allowing for much cultural variation. On the other hand, Europe is made up of peoples with very different linguistic and religious backgrounds. Yeah, that is an excellent point. There's much more linguistic differences, which I think is a very huge basis of culture, and in turn cultural differences. And I can tell the difference between accents in the US, but my point is that there are far fewer than in the UK, which is kind of what I base my argument on. No, yeah, totally. I think you're absolutely right with that, yeah. There are just like... I mean, accents mean so much more, I think, in England than they do here. Oh, what happened here? I mean, like, literally in England, it was like your whole life was determined based on your accent, which is not the case here. I think a better comparison is the British Commonwealth, equating the old colonies with states in the US. That's an interesting comparison, I would say. I think, though, my point is just that we are a lot of people. And I think in general, any country, any free country, I guess you'd say, well, I don't know, I won't really say that, but any country with a lot of people, I think the more people a country is, the harder it is to stay unified. And so the United States, yeah, has been unified for so long, but as populations increase, I think that becomes difficult. Um, and people become more regionalized. I think that's part of the problem that we're seeing in the United States right now is that, like, people are starting, people are tribal. And so, because we're so many people, we're trying to differentiate parts of the country, which I think is not good. Um, but and it's not just that. I mean, it's multifold, but manifold, but like I don't know. I think no matter what the reasons are, we're seeing some cultural unraveling here in the United States, or some unraveling of unity for a multitude of reasons. I mean, there are just things happening here right now that I never thought I would actually see happen in terms of values. We should raise taxes just because we are at war. Another thing that happens to us, countries built on immigrants, is that it's difficult to build a concrete national identity. At least it's harder to maintain the purity in which many Europeans build their national identity. This is true. Let me think about that for a moment, because I think national identity is tied so much to like the national story, right? Like I thought there was something very insightful said about. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna send our army over here. We're actually gonna be able to take them. A long time ago, John Stewart had a really interesting insight, I thought, in terms of the Iraq War. He said part of the problem is that, like, many countries in the world, you have like your national, the story of your national creation, and like here we always have like the mythos of like the American Revolution and all that stuff, right? And like you have like the turmoil in Iraq during the Iraq War. And the problem is, people don't want a country to come in and just be like, "Oh, you're free. Here's your country." Like, there's no national unity to that, right? And so I think, in terms of national cohesion, I think that plays a part into it as well. The kind of the stories we tell of our national histories, whether they be true or not, they become like a cohesive factor. The United States has definitely benefited from that. Weapons of mass destruction, though, right? Yeah, that became our national unifying story. And so I think that is like. I think that plays a big factor in national cohesion. I think the U.S. has benefited from that for a long time. But I think we're starting to see the limits of it. Ooh, yeah, we need. All right, start raiding convoys here. Same thing happens here. Our entire national myth is based on independence from Spain, but when you read the Declaration of Independence, everyone calls themselves Spanish and does everything for the king. So we tell ourselves it was out of fear of the king. Our weapons of mass destruction. Oh, that's interesting. Our Our entire national myth is based on independence from Spain. But when you read the Declaration of Independence, everyone calls themselves Spanish. That's interesting, really. So in the Declaration of Independence there, people still refer to themselves as Spanish. That's surprising. You know, now that I think about it, where does the name of Argentina like come from? Like, was that was that a name before the Spanish got there, or was that something that came about afterward? Like, I've always wondered that, just in terms of like from the game here. Like, there's a state. Where is it? I thought they had an actual state called Argentina in the game. Whatever. But like, was that something that existed before the Spanish? Oof, we are hurting here. Oh, Paco, Rob says he misses reading your chats. Yeah, I guess they don't stay up long enough on the game screen here to read anymore, huh? Well, you could go back to Twitch. Do you prefer to be on YouTube? Is that it? Alright, so when we are done with this war, we're gonna recover our manpower. I see. Phone too small to see it and have this chat. Yeah. Unfortunately. Oh, you have YouTube Premium. Okay, yeah. That makes sense then. You two, the reason you call yourselves Americans is not because you are the United States of America. It is because in the 13 colonies you called yourself British Americans. And in the Revolution, you removed the British part. That is, yeah. It's an excellent observation, actually. I never really thought about that. It is like a kind of interesting... Why would I accept this treaty? It is an interesting thing to think about every now and then, though. Like, the people that we like praise as like the founders of our country thought of themselves as British for a period of time and probably had British accents. Somebody like George Washington, like if you actually went back in time and met him, would sound British. Something you kind of forget about. Alright, we absolutely need to get some buildings sold here. Oh, there we go. Things are selling. We had more pops, so more like average people to be against Britain. Washington quote. Other American nations were sparsely populated, rich landowners who had vested interest in being European. Yeah. Although I think you could have said that about the southern United States, too. They had a vested interest in being British, sparsely populated with landowners. But also, if you look at the American Revolution, it was the southern colonies that were the most hesitant to break free. Which plays more into the point you just made. We have got to take this state. How much longer till you get here? 10 days. Yeah, they've got just so many people. There we go. Now we're making progress. I think this will help us. So what we're gonna do is, when we finish this war, we're gonna wait for our manpower to build back up, and then I think we're gonna make a move against the Dutch East Indies and get Qing on our side. Oh, and we're finally building some stuff. Where are we in tech here? Mechanical tools. This is good. Sulfite pulping for the paper mills. Yeah, that will be beneficial. Once we start researching railways, we'll start working on some motor industries, because I don't think Qing has any of that. Our geography is a cheat code too. It's crazy. I can sail from New York City to the Great Lakes, then down the Mississippi, then around back to New York City. Yeah, I know, right? But also remember, we also engineered that. The Erie Canal is what allows us to do that. But yeah, still, the Mississippi River is just insane. Like an insane natural resource that we had. Something many historians say is that we shouldn't assume that history was going to happen. If we put ourselves in the shoes of the New England settlers, they only wanted lower taxes and representation in the House of Commons, not independence. For them, independence was as much a surprise as the war in Ukraine or Israel was for us. When it happens, some of us can say we expected it, but it's never completely true. The fact it was possible to make that canal. Yeah, that's true. And yeah, Paco, totally. I always think about that point quite a lot, right? Like, you think about the American Revolution, it's kind of insane that happened, considering the strength of the British Empire at the time. It was not a given, and probably could have gone to shit in so many moments, and fundamentally would have been a different world right now had that happened. In, better or worse. I'm not trying to be like, oh, thank God the United States exists. I'm just saying, it was such a long shot that war would be won. So it's kind of amazing that it was won. Yanni, hey, good morning. Good morning to you. How are you doing? I'm doing well. I'm generally doing well. The run is on the verge of doing okay, but I feel like I've been saying it's on the verge of doing okay for 2 hours now. But as you can see, we're going after Madagascar because, you know, why not? But we just need people. Oh, hey. Rubber has been successfully grown in Lanfang in East Borneo. The fragile nature of these trees and their difficult to meet conditions makes this achievement exceptionally important. So we'll take that. Gold has been discovered in North Borneo. People from all corners of the earth are converging here, confident that they will discover the next great lode and become incredibly rich. Give us the migration attraction. I wish I could know what it feels like to be an English person who was born in 1900 and lives until 2000, seeing the empire fall apart. Yeah, right? Like, thinking about, like, yeah, what you grew up in 1900, you saw 2 world wars, and then by 2000, like, the monarchy doesn't even have power anymore. It's just, like, wild, right? And not even an English person. Just thinking about, like, my grandparents, who was in the same time frame. Just all the things they saw, you know? Like, my grandmother saw the creation of the automobile. She was a child, but saw the creation of the automobile and passed away in the age of the internet. Just crazy to think about, like, the amount of change in that time period. Alright, there we go. So we hold the island. Do I dare demobilize? Because I can't do anything now. And this will help our budget. You grew up in the #1 country, controlled most of the world, and seeing all that be gone. Computers have changed a ton in our lifetime. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at what we're doing right now. I'm playing a video game, chatting with somebody from the United States, Argentina, and Yanni, I forget, somewhere in Scandinavia, right? Like, that's just fundamentally insane. Playing a game about simulating the industrial revolution. All right. We're not passing. Okay, hold on. I slowed it back down. What can we do to help ourselves here? Well, you know what? Hold on. Yeah, we are going to pass public schools because we need to advance technologically. We could maybe get rid of the Home Affairs institution. What do you know about the art world changing? I mean, a little bit, I would say. I mean, I work in the theater, so I know about the theater, the changes in the theater world, the changes in the world of art, fine art. I know a little bit, but definitely not a resource on it, I would say. What happened to knowing your tools? Here we have a host of the most famous celebrity entertainment show who's 98 years old. She lived through the 1930s crisis, World War II, and fall of the Soviet Union. She's older than the modern state of Germany. Yeah. Almost all of Africa and Asia. It's crazy. A story has been making the rounds about a miner who struck it rich and became the wealthiest man in his town. People in North Borneo are beginning to live beyond their means, convinced they'll all become rich soon enough. Yeah, we have pretty high standard of living right now. Ooh, actually, we're slipping. Yeah, we'll take that. And she keeps working. Yeah, that's insane, too. People who are, like, the fact that people, like, of an advanced age can continue to work, too, is such a crazy modern thing. That you're still well enough to do that, considering what times used to be. Alright, what are we building next? So we definitely need to get a steel mill in North Borneo, which means we'll do the motor industry there. We don't have the people or the infrastructure. Oh, we have the infrastructure, and then we'll build the railways. And then we can sell them. Oh, North Borneo, why are you doing that? Because we don't have... No, I know, yeah. She keeps working. I got what you meant there. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's crazy that, like, she can keep working. Oh, wait. I see what you said there. Oh, yeah. She, not you. I get it. Hold on, let me pull that up. Martha Legrand. 1927 and still working. That is crazy. 98 years old. Ah, there we go. Okay. So we got Madagascar. So let's take a look over here. So we have people. I'd say that much. Now it's going to stay unincorporated. Because the population here is going to be pretty unaccepted. However... Oh, you know, yeah, we need to change this stuff. I'm worried about changing it in the other states, though. So we might have problems. Well, let's do it over here. But not in Madagascar. Although it might create problems in the other place too. So these guys are irregular. I think we'll keep them as they are. Oh, what can we create? Not necessarily what I want to create. So let's think about this here. Okay, so now I want to start focusing on taking on the Dutch East Indies. Now we need to regain our manpower. In terms of companies, it would be nice to have this one. We could make tools with it, but I would more so want... Wait, why don't I have... Wait, why do I have this here when the vast majority are in Lanfang? We really need it there. But I'm not going to be able to do a level 3 of anything. Vini Vidi Vici. Oh, Paco, you're back on YouTube. Is everyone leaving the Twitch stream? I hope not. Oh no, everyone's still on there. Very nice. Oh God. I'm like in the middle of many different choices that I can make here. And so I think I just need to decide here. Livestock ranches throughput. I can get... Well, no, because I don't have... Oh, yeah, Robert, you can now see Paco's chats. Yeah, God, now if I could get multiculturalism, having Madagascar... We also really need some universities. Although now I really don't need these here. Because I have Madagascar. Yeah, that has 7 levels of millet farms. Educate me, King. Our King of Argentina. Yeah, Great Qing. Great Qing, you are asking for a lot of money. God, I just want to jump into war right now, but I know that our manpower, we need to get this up. We say we're hiring. Let's see, if we go to 5 speed, are we actually hiring here? Slowly, 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 but surely. And all the while, we are going into debt with a 34% interest rate. Oh, hold on, hold on. Okay, we just inherited some construction sectors that we cannot afford. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Okay, we're going to get rid of some of these. Though, I don't know, though. Like, why don't we? Ooh, why don't we go for the logging company here? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where are you, logging company? You're ruining my mojo here. Here we go. South Madagascar. What do we need here? We need level 3 logging. Yes. This is what we do. I have to have gone to sleep, but I must needs partake of a monster drink. Oh no. Twitch flagged me as a gringo. Do you take that as an insult? It's a funny Mexican word here. Yeah, no. We know what it means here, but it won't get you in trouble here. Yeah, give me these logging camps. In fact, let's... We can lower one of them. See. Okay, so we are getting some manpower back. Let's see. Parents who have experienced teaching children at home are offering to assist as teachers in rural areas to facilitate the new public school system. We can get some success chance. The impact of this effort is proportional to Lanfang and literacy. Yeah, no, we don't want that here. Well, wait. Oh, yeah, well, we got rid of a lot of that stuff there, so yeah, we'll take the plus 16. Party-affiliated newspapers have been proliferating during this election season. Publications associated with the Conservative Party have been particularly effective in spreading the party line. Rural folk authoritarian, that doesn't help us. Yeah, we don't want to help the Conservative Party here. Alright. Meticulous. Okay, not bad. Why does he have to be a landowner, though? He's a market liberal landowner. Alright, we'll take you. So we'll transfer you to a new army. Why won't it let me do this? The Victoria 3 cycle. Play as your country or a smaller country get bored. Restart the game with Japan. Tall Japan is fun, yeah. I've yet to complete a Japan run, though. I gotta do a full-on... I gotta commit to a Japan run. I started quite a few, but... there we go. Okay, so we're gonna call this our Madagascar army. We'll just give them like a cool color and stuff. And so this way we know where they are. They're over here. Very dishonorable. Maybe the Emperor's sad. I tend to make every Emperor sad. I never claim to be the Emperor's man. Alright. So we're getting close. We're getting very, very close. So we just need to get our manpower back up. The French want Maine, but the French always want Maine. Every Paradox game, they want that. Every time I start an EU4 run, that's what I'm dealing with. An unexpectedly popular campaign of agitation by Liao Qiu against the Lanfang and government's colonial policies has led to a greatly increased public interest in the Agrarian Party's platform. All right. We really... 17 years. I mean, come on. We actually, I think, need a government admin. Yeah, look, we don't even have one in Lanfang. Do we have paper in Lanfang? I believe we do. Yeah. So we'll build one there. Alt history time. I'm excited for the 1337 start in Eve. Oh, I missed that. You're going to be able to start in 1337. That's kind of cool. We're kind of encroaching into some CK3 times now. Have you ever heard of the moon landing or the paperclip project? Yeah, I've heard the term the paperclip project before. I can't remember what I know about that. What do you mean, have you ever heard of the moon landing? Oh, wait. How come I'm missing... for some reason, I'm always reading the last chat message to come in, and not the one right before it. Returning to the topic of stereotypes, something I hate is a widespread myth that we are Nazis in Argentina, and that we harbor many Nazis. Fewer than 100 Nazis came here. Have you ever heard of the moon landing? Yeah. that is like um, a stereotype. Although I will say, I don't know if I've ever thought that, um, like I've heard like, oh, a lot of Nazis fled to Argentina, but it always kind of seemed like they like kept to themselves and were like secluded, and so Argentinians aren't Nazis or like descendants of Nazis. Like I always felt like the stereotype was like they all fled to Argentina and then like hid and didn't like mix with the regular population. That was my like stereotypical understanding of it. So like Argentinian people are separate from that. Because my like like the stereotype of like Nazis are like they were all like hiding like under baseboards in a house and didn't want anyone to know where they were. Yeah, Hearts of Iron 4. Another Paradox game I'm trying to learn. I just bought that one on the last sale. So I gotta learn that one. Alright. The budget is concerning. And, you know, we do need to, like, just lower that. We've got to do something about this. What are we subsidizing again? The gold mines and the iron mines. Do we still need to subsidize the gold mines? Well, let's look at the iron mines since they're right here. Let's try taking that off. Let's look at those gold mines. Oh, look at this. I forgot. Do we have coal? Well, we want to do this because we're going to get more minting. The high prices of clothes have become a prominent talking point in the Free Trade Party election campaign, arguing that their free trade policies would drive down the price. Yeah, we'll take that one. We are the Great Italy. We are the country that grew the most in the world due to migration. We received many absolutely never Germans. Oh, interesting. Some Dutch people do, but not Germans. Oh, is that true though? So there wasn't any like German migration? Like not Nazis I'm talking about, just in general. So the whole like myth of like people fleeing Germany post-war, there wasn't actually ever any people that ended up in Argentina. Because I believe that there's always any like major stereotype you always end up finding out is like, not only is it not true, there's like no history of it whatsoever. So it wouldn't be surprising to me. Wait, do we have coal mines? Because this would be, yeah, we don't have any. Okay. Ooh, some in Madagascar, though. Actually, that might be a bit too much. Yeah, let's do 3. Though previously opposing the public schools laws, Liao Q has considered the industrial's political position and instead offers support. More gold rush. Gold has been discovered in Lanfang. People from all corners of the earth are converging there, confident that they will discover the next great lode and become incredibly rich. Yeah, give me that. Actually, give me that Goldfields throughput. Yeah, why are we not? How are we not hiring on these goldfields? Okay, North Borneo is good. There was a bit of German migration in the province of Misiones, the little piece that penetrates Brazil. But it is part of a series of German migrations to Paraguay. And it turns out that some crossed the border. Oh, interesting. So then it sounds like then there were more... There's more German... Eventual German migration to Paraguay. See, when we eventually need Qing to side with us, we're going to need to get these landowners in there. It's going to be tough. Hey, I will be lurking. Got some shit to do. I may appear back on chat later. Good to see you. Good to see you, Santos. Good to see you. Yeah, no worries. As a fellow sometimes lurker, I appreciate a good lurking. So I appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, we are going to need to get the Conservative Party in there when we go to war. We need the landowners in here to get Qing on our side. And we need the armed forces happy just to get patriotic fervor. French are kicking your butt. What's the run you're doing again, Rob? Can't remember which one you're on. Oh wait, that's right. You're on EU4. I'm going to do and Angevin, England. Okay. I don't know who else to play in this anymore. This is new to me. Nice. Oh. Pacifists led by Xi Yunshan are protesting against the weapons manufacturing in North Borneo. Yeah, this one I am always like, I do not want to hear your bullshit on this one. We're not cutting back on this. 5 years of guns. Throughput negatives, no. Yeah, we will take that. Oh, I forgot though. That did give us infrastructure. Whoops. Well, we'll get him back. We'll get him back somehow. The myth began with President Perón. You may recognize him from the musical Evita. Ah, yeah. Thought I recognized the name. Which provided asylum for some German Argentinians from the Nuremberg trials. But there were only a few of them. Yeah. And, I mean, honestly, Nazis who fled to many places. They fled to the United States, too. And we didn't do enough against that. In fact, we harbored many of them because they built us bombs against the Russians. Well, maybe some of those people fled beforehand, but we definitely harbored some of them. Ooh, the reactionary movement is building up. We need to do something about that. Look at this guy. Yeah, exactly, Rob. Yeah, we took some in too. Everyone seems to gloss over that one. Man. Okay. Oh, well, we can get rid of the greener or the road maintenance here. We're not building stuff there anymore. We can start to repress that movement. France is nice. You have an easy introduction to all mechanics. Subject states. An early war with England difficult to lose. So we got schools. Man, we used to have such a nice standard of living. Now, not so much. Yeah. Okay. Not to fret, though. I mean, we're still making some good progress moving along. We just need... Oh, well, actually, hold on. It is kind of looking like we're almost there in terms of building our manpower back up. Like, these guys are pretty much there. These guys are fine. Budget-wise, though, look at that budget. Yeah, we need to get that government admin. The problem is, we really need to get this off of Great Britain. It's difficult for both sides to lose. It's easy for France to retake Normandy, but impossible to invade the British mainland. And it's easy to blockade France with England, but difficult to defeat a French army that outnumbers you. Kind of sounds a lot like Victoria 3, too. Let's see, does the Qing market have access to coal yet? No, coal is awful in this market. Just unbelievable. Um, so these guys are pretty much... Ooh, we got first aid. Then you have the Wars of the Roses. England may not be the best option. Ooh, and it's about to fire. Oh, I got like a gnat in my eye here. We got no liquor though. Did we ever build that food industry? We did. So that means in the military here, we will add in first aid. The Madagascar army. What do they have here? They have tobacco. They have sugar. So... honestly, I'm thinking we're probably... I always say don't play towards a bankruptcy. I'm wondering if we just try to get this land off of the Dutch East Indies before we hit default. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick save. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, bathroom break, get a drink. When we come back, we're finally making the move against the Dutch East Indies. You're American, you're supposed to deficit spend. That's our way. I think that's what we're going to do. So, quick 60-second bathroom break, and when I come back, it's time to battle the Dutch East Indies. Be right back. All right, and we're back. We're back, and we're about to do this. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on here. I don't remember if I took a save. We're gonna do it anyway. Oh, I think I did. Just in case. Okay. So how are we gonna do this here? First of all, do I have conscripts finally? Yeah, not really. Alright, so we'll add one in here. The Madagascar army. I'll add some in there. Ooh, someday I want to try doing the mega campaign. I mean, I gotta learn Ep4 much better first. I know Crusader Kings well enough. But I definitely want to try that. Oh, you know, hold on. Our relations are not down far enough. But we can do it through Sambas. Oh, and you know what? Let's just throw these guys in there now. Alright, let's pause this. So, the states that we need to take. West Borneo, East Borneo, and North Borneo. So we want that one. West Borneo, and then that one. Okay. And we can get Qing in. So we're going to mobilize everybody. And so, let's see, what do we want to do? The cavalry. Yeah, the cavalry will send to this front. The main army will send to this one. And And the Madagascar army, you'll go there. Alright. Now, do we want to ask for, like, war reparations or anything? I'm kind of thinking these guys, I want you to escort convoys. Because I need to stay connected to the Qing front. So let's put you here for now. YouTube chat is popping off with some EU4. I'm just trying to keep up. I don't think there's any law I want to move to yet. Yeah, I mean, getting rid of home affairs would help with some bureaucracy. Oh. Okay, so now that we have all that stuff in there, so it'll just take 10. So we want to make, I don't want anybody backing down. Let's get Qing in there. And they're in. Okay. What? Prussia? What in the world? This might be nuts. Alright, Qing, I really need you on this one. The rich mineral deposits in Lanfang have been drained. Mines are being shuttered, and all the prospectors who moved in are beginning to drift away in search of the next big strike. An eruption of unprecedented records has utterly destroyed the lives of many Dutch East Indies in the state of West Java. The explosion of the Krakatoa could be heard from hundreds of miles away, and everything that had the ill fate of surrounding the island was immediately devastated. Ugh, lower relations with them. What do we care? Waves taller than chimneys have ravaged the state of North Borneo. Terrible consequence of the volcanic eruption. Oof. You know, it's funny you mentioned that about the soundtracks. I've always turned off the soundtrack on Victoria 3, and just recently I've started getting into it and keeping it on. In Iron Man. Always a difficult sentence to say in any Paradox game. Or the end of a sentence. In Iron Man. Alright, so let's make sure we don't have any... We're going to have to keep an eye out for navies and make sure we're moving them around accordingly. Oh my god, the reactionary movement. This could not come at a worse time. Are you really going to blow up our country because of some migration laws? That's the only thing I can think of. I hate Iron Man. I just realized that the war I declared to conquer Pyrrhus, Macedonia, the Peloponnese. It's a CB commercial war. Lanfang is a cool run. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how cool it is. Hearts of Iron 4 has good music. Especially if you buy Sabat tracks there. Oh. Alright, let's see what happens here. The drop in temperature caused by the volcanic eruption has ruined the crops of all the nation, and the farmers of North Madagascar beg for help. Alright, might as well, why not? Oh, you know what? Yeah. Alright, we have that. Opportunistic members of the trade unions have defected to the rural folks' cause. Alright, here we go. Apologies, I was getting messages that I ran out of disk space to record the stream locally. Whoops. Alright, we don't want to lose more bureaucracy. Okay, yeah, that's fine with us. Okay, let me explain for Ham. Excellent. Please explain for me what's going on here. CBs, Cassius Belli, may not allow you to achieve certain things in peace treaties. In this case, conquering lands, because it's a commercial CB. Wait, are we talking about EU4 here or Victoria 3? So I declared an all-out war, me and the Catholic boys. Oh yeah, it must be EU4. Against the Ottoman Empire, only to get a few ducats in the end. Oh. Ouch. That, diplomacy, man. Diplomacy in Paradox games will bite you. Hey, look at our army defeating people. Okay. Ooh, come on, Qing. Come on, Qing, don't lose every war. Oh, and what happened? We were supposed to be able to get a logging company here. What happened? How many do we need? We need 5. Yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. That'll give us what we need. Damn. Dissidents in South Madagascar have announced plans for a major march around government offices in the near future. While they profess peaceful intentions and claim everyone will be unarmed, the march itself will be will obviously serve as a rallying point for those unhappy with the government. Oh, come on. Ugh. Okay, what could we do? Okay, if worse comes to worse, can we get rid of this guy, actually? Yeah, let's get rid of this. Actually, yeah, National Guard would be nice. Let's switch to National Guard. Oh. Okay, so they're trying to sink people. As long as they're not trying to... Oh. Alright, so we're going to move our guys over here. Yeah, 3 of our convoys sunk in the South China Sea. Alright. So we got to prevent that. For example, oh wait, my entire economy and diplomacy are dedicated to fighting the Ottomans, who are pretty buffed. For example, the Ottomans are 5 times more developed than I am. We have almost the same number of soldiers. True Prussia for the Balkans. Ooh. And we gotta switch headphones. Let me make sure this switched. Yep, okay. There we go. All right. How are we doing here? No progress. Why is Prussia in this? They don't even have a war goal set. Great Qing. Climbing losses at the front have led to murmurs of mutiny spreading among the soldiery. If action isn't taken soon, the situation may become critical. Ooh, we don't want to take negative 10% offense, though. Nor the morale loss. Ugh. This is tough. Yeah, we did get it. Okay. In North Borneo. And no, I'm not more stable than Yugoslavia. The same army that's busy killing Ottomans represses Albanians, Bosnians, Croats, Hungarians, Montenegrins, and Serbs alike. My main culture is limited to 3 provinces. Or like the Boers of Transvaal. Tell me about that. That was my last stream, Transvaal. Oh, look at this. Okay. Protecting those convoys right there. Look at this, we're about to lose that state, though. Great Qing, your army just sucks. Where are we getting sunk now? Oh, in South China Sea. Yeah, of course, Great Qing is losing. We might be at our time. We just might be. I'm starting to lose focus here. All right, let's see what this says. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of National Guard by Li Yunshan quickly devolved into a public relations disaster for the armed forces. We don't want to take a setback yet, but if we take the 15, if we take any of those, we get the setback, so we might as well take this. General Leo Dakai, noting severe unrest in North Madagascar, has proposed using the army to suppress agitation in the area. While his political allies support him, there's a heavy risk to following his plan. Ugh, did not work. Alright. Yeah, good stream. Thank you. I'm tired as well. Until next stream, friend. Good night. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna end it for here tonight and finish this war next episode. Yeah. So as usual, thanks for hanging out, friends. This was fun, as always. We did some decent work tonight, though we got quite a bit of work to do next episode. Because it's not looking good on the war front here, so this might be a major setback, but we will see. We will see. Yeah, so as always, thank you to everybody who's watching. If you haven't done so already, please give me a follow on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube so you get alerted to the next time I'm on. I will be on tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern, restarting the last autumn run in the first Frostpunk. Next time I'll be doing this run in Victoria 3 will be on Wednesday night. So definitely join in for that one. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for hanging out and watching, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. And as always, be awesome. I'll see you next time.